Yeah, I remember like there was like I swear at least a 7 or 8 month period. That's when I was the dairy manager. Where I would come up in an hour late every day,
That's
and
funny.
still leave at the normal time that I was
Yep,
supposed to leave.
that's right.
And was always trying to bust me out about it too. Of course, I had to smack a bitch up.
You always have to smack. You gotta make people be quiet. They're like,
Right,
"Oh, way to show up on time." I'm like, "Bitch, I'll fuck you up behind the cheese."
right. Don't you dare go in that dairy cooler.
That's right. You get up behind him, you be like, "Motherfucker, as soon as this cookie dough hardens up, I'm gonna bust you right upside your fucking head."
Let me close those curtains.
Yeah.
Live, Prius, or die.
Die. Die.
Live, Prius, or die. Yeah, you're safe.
Live, Prius, or Die, episode 18. We're legal. I'm your host.
Finally.
I'm your co-host, Mondo.
Get the Playboys and cigars, boys.
Will,
What?
go.
What? Go.
Go.
All over your face.
That's right. That's White Shadow there. What's up, Will?
What's up? What's going on?
Got sitting in Pete's left hand. What's going on, Pete?
What?
Stroking it.
There you go. That's right. Today is Friday the 13th, and we're gonna.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I heard it was a full moon tonight too. I don't know if that's true.
I wouldn't know because it's storming outside right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of cloudy here, so I can't tell. I guess I could look it up, but
I heard that too. Some kid on the baseball field today was telling another kid, because that's the kind of people I hang around.
yeah, kids.
Yeah, one of the kids on the team my son plays for, he was saying that, but I was like, yeah, he's probably just pulling some shit out of his ass. I did know it was Friday the 13th, but
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
so sure about the fully moon.
That's freaking innuendo right there.
full moon.
Yeah, and pulling it out of his ass.
That's right.
Wow. And there you have it.
Hey, they got to know how to play ball sooner or later.
As long as we don't end up on some poop again, I'm good. No pun intended.
Or on what the hell is that show where they caught all the perverts?
Or wait, pun intended.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's To Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing with a 24-pack of beer and 80 condoms?
Yeah.
I was just gonna teach him safe sex, man. Just gonna teach him safe sex. Just
With
gonna
beer
have a
cans?
inspirational-
What was the guy's
inspirational
name?
speech, man.
What was the guy's name? Hansen?
Oh, Chris
Hansen.
Hansen.
Hansen, yeah.
Didn't he get caught like having an affair on his wife like that same way? Like, didn't
Who
somebody
knows?
like? I think that's what happened, and that's why it's not
I
on the
mean,
air anymore.
That would just be like poetic justice, quite honestly.
I mean, yeah,
I mean,
but not
it would
really.
be. I mean, but that's never. I mean, that's a sign of like a really bad start to a date. When you show up to some place and old boy's like waiting there in the kitchen for you. It's like, yeah.
They didn't care, dude. They were like, what dude came in there probably skipping with a pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade and was like, oh yeah, it's happening. I'm gonna get them drunk. My dick's gonna get wet. It's great. Why y'all got cameras? Why has everybody got a camera?
Yeah. I mean, it was just surprising that these kind of guys couldn't smell what the Rock was cooking here, because you come up to this house and the girls were answering the door, right, and then they were immediately kind of whisked away to somewhere.
No, Will. Actors or actresses?
Well, whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it. And that's got quite honest. I don't know if what age these girls really were,
Oh, they were in their
would have.
20s. 20. Yeah, they were up there.
because that's got to be somewhat of a traumatic role to be playing. I've often wondered that about even horror movies. That they have kids in these movies, and like Poltergeist. And I mean, look at what happened with them.
Yeah.
Half them people freaking died. But I just wonder what really happens, because I mean, what do they tell the kids? Hey, we're filming this scary movie that's going to scare the shit out of adults, but you got to be in it.
Well, that's just it, though. They get to see all the special effects and all that stuff behind the scenes first. So they're probably talking to the puppeteers and the guy that's like, I'm pushing these buttons to make all that ooze bleed out of the walls. So don't freak out. It's not real. And they know it's not real. They're not like, they're young
but
enough to understand to be scared, but they're not.
Just the concept. I mean, at some point you got to figure they're coming back to watch the movie because they were in it, right?
Yeah, but at that point you see everything behind the scenes. I mean, I'm sure
I don't
part
know.
of you.
I still think as a child, you don't really understand the full scope of what you're creating.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that would freaking suck if you were like in a movie and then you couldn't go and see your parents. Like, nah, it's too scary for you. But I was in it. It's like, yeah, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
when you're
PG-13. Yeah, it's PG-13 and you're 11. So, no. As a parent, I'm saying no.
2 years to see your own movie. That freaking sucks donkey balls, man.
Well, I mean, but it's just the fact that they're in this kind of movie. They're obviously having to see or hear certain things that, as a kid, they wouldn't have to see. Here's a great example. And this is not a horror movie at all. So my wife brought home this movie. It was like we bought a zoo or some shit like that.
Yeah. It's got
You
Chris
know what I'm
Pratt in
talking
it. It has Chris Pratt in it because I was surprised he would do a movie like that. But, you know, whatever. I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Right. Well, I know Matt Damon was like the dad of the kids, and like he's having an argument with his older son in the hallway, and they start to saying something about that girl in there still believes in the Easter Bunny, and then she comes out in the hallway. What about the Easter Bunny? So it's like they just ruined this kid's childhood because she's probably now knowing there is no Easter Bunny because she's in this movie.
Unless she
I
was...
know that's kind of a far-fetched concept, but it's like I don't see how you could put kids in that position and not expect them to end up screwed up.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
You know, you take away, you take away a little bit of their, I guess a little bit of the mystique for the kids, maybe the innocence. But I mean, they're fucking actors making millions, so who gives a shit? They got enough to pay for, like, you know, people to talk to.
By the way, it's
Right.
not... It's
True.
not...
I agree. You know, I mean, look at what the hell? Damn it, what the hell is Hannah Montana's real name?
Miley Cyrus?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Man, see, I'm getting old. Which we'll get on that topic in a minute because I got to talk about ear hair. But Miley Cyrus, you know, obviously this chick is gone. I don't know if you guys... My wife watches The Voice, or kind of watches The Voice when she pulls the time together to do it. Mostly because my one daughter wants to watch it too. But, I mean, they put her on there, and she's wearing the most goofy-ass outfits, like... You know, you would never think to see anybody that isn't a crackhead basically wearing.
Or Lady Gaga.
Or Lady Gaga. Yeah, well, which is probably tantamount to a crackhead. But, so, you know, it's just obvious to me that these people just, between the money and the people that they're dealing with and talking to all the time, they just lose their mind. They just lose it.
I don't know if that's true in all cases. By the way, I want to retract what I said. It wasn't Chris Pratt. It's Matt Damon, like you said. I don't know where I got Chris Pratt from. Sorry.
No, I thought maybe he was another character in there, and I just wasn't remembering. But
yeah, I thought I saw him in that, but whatever.
We got the story right.
Yeah.
I was with it, man. I was buying into that whole Chris Pratt thing, man. I was like,
It just...
I don't give a shit about that movie.
Yeah. I give a shit about Chris Pratt, though. He's awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, Chris Pratt is awesome. It's not to be confused with the movie We Got Some Goo. Okay, so just
okay.
That's a whole different concept for a movie. I just wanted to...
Thank you.
We're live. All right.
This
Season
has been a
Magoo.
public service announcement.
By Peter Nieto. So anyway, so about this ear hair situation.
What a segue into that. It's...
Yeah.
Hey, we had to have a hard stop on this one because I'm tired of it, man. You know, I'm getting to an age where there's ear hair growing, and I don't really understand why. I don't understand the end goal here. And, I mean, are you guys experiencing... Well, you know, Mondo, I would bet, is probably not anywhere near that kind of scenario because that is not typically a
Okay, let me tell you about...
a brown person problem.
Let me tell you about grooming, okay?
Okay.
So, I hate shaving. Absolutely
Well, I agree.
have always
I agree with
hated
that.
shaving, right? But now I have more shaving products than I have ever owned in my entire life. When I was younger, I used to just take my clippers and do everything and be done. Now I have a fucking special 5-head razor with aloe strips on the top and the bottom. I use this African shave butter with a shave brush because me smearing it on my face wasn't getting it, and I was getting razor bumps. So I have to trim everywhere. I have to get
Yeah.
I'm about to get my eyebrows waxed because I slap bitches who come at me with clippers. If you try to shave my eyebrows, I will fuck you up. I am not even playing. I saw some chick do that to me one time at a franchise hair place, and I was like, do not ever cut my hair like that. Do not ever cut my eyebrow hair like that again. And she looked at me, and I was like, put it in the notes when we leave. Because like the place that I go to, this franchise, they like pull up your receipt and they're like, oh, you like this? And it literally says 2 on the top, 1 on the sides. Do not shave eyebrows. They won't do it now. Like
You get profiled,
I stopped her because she was coming around the front, and I stopped her, and she never really cut my hair before. She just pulled up the receipt, right? So I stopped her and I was like, don't do that again. And she looked at me like, what are you talking about? And I gave her that dad look. I just looked up over the top of my glasses and I was like, don't do it again. And she looked at me for a second. She put her head down and she just started shaving my head. And I was like, that's right, bitch. You don't ever fucking do that. Because the shit, it grows back thicker, and I hate that. And then it gets all scraggly, so now I have to get them waxed. And yes, I'm shaving my ear hair on top of that. There's the period.
You have ear hair, really?
Oh, yeah. I keep on top of that
was
shit.
Like, pretty much the European kind of problem.
I was washing my face, man. I looked, and I was like, what is that shit? And I was like scrubbing my ears, and I was like, ugh. So I had to get a special little mini trimmer to get in there because I'm not plucking that shit.
Yeah.
You can't really get it waxed, so you got to do that. But no, man, that's just a guy thing.
Yeah, I thought it was more my problem because of my lineage.
No, man, my dad's got he's got a freaking secret garden growing out of that shit. And he's 100% Mexican, but yeah, I noticed that I'm getting little guys showing up, kind of peeking out of the closet there, and I'm just, when I see them, they gone. I rip them out, man. Take tweezers.
Well, see, you must not be having every now and then, I get one that just it's all of a sudden like a half-inch long. It's like, where the hell did this sucker come from?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not even just in by by the ear opening. It's like up on the ear lobes and stuff. And it's what the hell?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's like one day I could rip one out, and then 2 more appear. It really is like a weed, and I think they're somehow when I rip them out, they must be carried by the wind and fall on the crack of my ass. They've taken root. In that, they just need some rocky soil to just,
See, that's what happens when you don't water regularly.
If you don't cook it long enough, it ain't gonna come out right.
That's right. I was actually thinking about why I feel like that guy that can't get a woman off when I go see DC movies now. I just because I don't really know what's happening. None of it's really making any sense. It wasn't like I saw in the magazines. I don't know.
Dude, that is the best line ever.
I mean, I was really thinking about this earlier. I was reading about how the Flash lost its director, right? And I was like, Jesus. And then all this other shit came out today about Darkseid and how he's not going to be in the movies until the second Justice League movie. And then I was like, oh, they've already planned 2 Justice League movies. I was like, wait a minute. And then they were talking about how the villain's going to be in the first Justice League movie. And then I was like, there's no one lined up. Where are their origin story movies at? There aren't any besides Batman.
They're just going balls deep in it because they got to play catch up.
Right. I just feel like I'm trying to jerk off and flip through a nudie magazine and all the pages are sticky and I haven't used the magazine yet. I don't know what's happening. So, yeah.
I bought this new.
Yeah, exactly. Is it the humidity? What's happening?
It's just messing with you, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just the universe thumbing you in the eye.
Right, exactly. So, no,
man.
I just, I don't know.
DC cannot pull their shit together to save their lives.
I'm still disappointed with Batman vs. Superman, and I'm with Pete. Superman's just, he's a fucking bitch. That's just, let's be honest. I like comic book Superman. I don't like movie Superman. It just bothers me.
They haven't found an appropriate portrayal of a movie Superman. I think they're always trying to make him either in this last one they try to make him more humanized, but in previous ones they've made him just ultra good, incorruptible. It's you know what? I mean, I don't know. I like a more humanistic side Superman. I mean, if I had superpowers to be able to like see through walls and shit, yeah, super beat off, man. I mean,
who needs porn? I can just go scope out some shit.
that's right, man.
I
mean,
could
you
literally
gotta be
see
careful
her
where you're going,
walls.
'cause, I mean, you don't want to
Yeah.
fucking walk in Walmart and
Oh God.
that could ruin your night.
Right. Imagine trying to control it when you're young. Like, you'd have no idea. You're like, oh, God. Oh, God.
There'd be like a psychosis-driven layer of impotence.
Yes.
That's right, man. You gotta try it. You gotta freaking walk out and tie a tourniquet around that thing.
Can you imagine him talking to Batman about that stuff? And like, dude, I don't know what it is, but every time I see floral patterns on Lois, like I can't get it up. And it all happened because when I was 12, there was this woman, and she had to be 600 pounds and just sweaty as fuck. And I was, oh, you're like, why? Yeah, that'd be horrible.
They never
Come on.
address the fact that, you know, Superman, he might have super smell. I mean,
Oh, you know he does.
so I mean, they never address the fact that he's got all these other superpowers, but he doesn't have the ability to smell that freaking tuna from across the room.
Right.
I mean,
Come on, I think he would have to not have that, or be able to just be immune to it somehow, because otherwise, yeah, it would just be an impossibility to get around. Because I mean, I think more often than not that's a problem with people. Smell.
Yeah. You know what really is gonna make me happy is if they do a Wonder Twins movie. I'm just gonna leave that there for a second. I want you guys just to take a second and think about this. Okay.
There's no way.
Wonder
I think
Twins.
the Wonder Twins were made up just, I think, for the comic or the cartoons. I don't even think they were originally comics.
Do you remember the Adult Swim episode with the Wonder Twins, and they were in the Justice League, and they were like trying to figure out why the Native American superhero who could like make himself like really large, really small.
He
So
could large, super high.
yeah, so he like smacks this meteorite out of the air by ripping a telephone pole up out of the ground, and just saves the world, knocks it back out in outer space, right? But then people are
Right.
pissed because they can't go to their local coffee shop and swipe their debit cards. So he like decides to buy some coffee, and they spill it on him, on his member, and he
Right.
sues the coffee shop, right? So they're asking, Birdman is the attorney. So they're
I love
asking,
Birdman.
yeah, I think it was actually an episode of Birdman. So they're asking him, Birdman's questioning one of the boy of the Wonder Twins, like, so, where were you during this happening? He was like, well, I was helping Wonder Woman with something else. And he was like, well, how do you know the whereabouts of Wonder Woman? And he was like, oh, I didn't, he's like backpedaling, and Birdman's like, tell us how you know where Wonder Woman was. She's part of the Justice League. And he was like, well, she was taking a bath. And then he's like, how do you know she was taking a bath? He was like, I was the water. So I'm just thinking, I'm like, you could do so much with the Wonder Twins in these movies, like so much fun stuff.
All right, Harvey Birdman. I love that show.
That dude is awesome. He's my hero.
that's badass.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I know that they're gonna fuck up. And I'm not looking forward to a lot of these other movies. I am looking forward to Wonder Woman though.
I mean, I could tell you one thing they fucked up already, and that's Aquaman having black hair.
Okay, true that. But Aquaman, everyone makes fun of him, and this is true. And I saw something thanks to.
I'm not making fun of him. I'm just making fun of the fact that they picked a guy that has long black hair.
I mean, he's King Neptune, man. Like, they got to give him it's all part of that whole darker image. They're doing the exact opposite of what Marvel's doing. And take note of this. The last 8 years, there's been an Iron Man movie, right? He's done 3 movies.
Yeah.
The color scheme, the brightness of those movies, I mean, it pops out. It stands out. Like, you see colors from the race cars to the suits to the special effects. Like, it's like, boom. You look at any DC movie, and it's super dark. All you can, and honestly, when I looked at this comparison that I read about, it's, if you think of, when I think of DC movies, I think automatically of Batman, and then I think of Gotham, and how dark is Gotham? In every movie, how dark is it? There's like barely any light. Like, the city is like the cusp of a fucking black hole, if you think about it. So
It is so emo.
yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. Like, walking down the streets of Gotham, you're like, I think I might just cut myself because
Right.
of the
Well,
environment.
no wonder why everybody's hard up there.
Yeah, no one's happy. So if you think about it, what they're doing is they're just doing the exact opposite of what Marvel's doing. So they want a darker image to their characters. So you got to have a guy with darker hair. Now let's see if he can. I want to see him punch Superman in the face and knock him through like 5 buildings, because you know he's stronger than Superman, right?
I don't know enough about Merman. I'm showing my He-Man levels here.
Merman.
I don't know enough about Aquaman. Sorry.
I just read something recently that somebody posted on their Facebook about it, so I want to give them big ups to that. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
So Aquaman is supposedly stronger than Superman,
Oh, he's stronger.
but he lives in a fucking fish tank.
I mean, pretty much.
So
And Sebastian always wants to sing fucking songs and just kiss the girl.
Yeah, at that point, I'm sure Aquaman is like, "Shut up! Shut up! Shut the fuck up!"
I will throw my trident at your ass.
he's
You're
like, that's some racist shit.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah,
Golly.
he's pretty strong. Like he's no bitch.
Well, that's because he spends all his time working out, because he's got nobody fucking down there in the middle of the water. I mean, it's like
No, there's
it's like
the-
a prison, dude.
Right.
Yeah, the-
I mean, he's
It's Debo.
ain't no bitches down there.
Right.
I mean, what is he, fucking a dolphin?
I mean,
Silly pervert.
You gross guy.
Aquaman. Aquaman. He's fucking a sea cow.
give me that sea cucumber.
He wears a jellyfish like a condom, man.
That's
Ugh.
right. And he won't,
is tight.
you know, it won't
That's a
shock him.
Portuguese man of war.
That's not even right. But yeah, I guess he's pretty badass. Like, I mean, I'll find some stats and put up there, but you just don't want to fuck with him, man. I want to see him and Superman go at it. I do. I think he would kill Superman, hands down. I think he would murder Superman. I think he would fuck him like that guy did in 7 to that hooker. I think he would just fuck him with his trident and be like, "You like that Kryptonian bitch?" Like he would just tear his ass up. I know it.
That's nobody even cares about the water. I mean, there's the Earth is like made up so much of it, so I think he has like an advantage because his kingdom is like. But it's like, okay, well, nobody cares about a fucking hotel in the ghetto. I mean, you know, who's gonna go there? It's like, yeah, you own it.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody else want it.
he owns 71%.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
the Earth is covered with 71% water, I believe. So yeah, that's
It's like, but nobody wants your real estate, man. He's like, it's all mine. It's all mine. You guys can't come in. And they're like, yeah, well, fuck you. We don't really need to.
No,
no.
we don't want it.
What's going to be awesome is to see how the Flash movie does turn out after this, though. I guess director Graham Smith is leaving the project due to creative differences, and I'm not
He
sure.
wanted to make it good, apparently, huh?
Well, yeah, but
all right, let me ask this. I mean, does this have anything to do with the Flash show?
I don't know who. I'm reading up on this now. It has a release date. The Flash movie's release date of March of 16th of 2018. They are keeping Graham Smith's script,
Yeah.
which it's a treatment off of another one from Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. But I don't know who's actually going to be.
The Flash himself.
I think it's Ezra Miller. So is that I don't know who the actor's name on the Flash TV show.
No, I don't know either. But it seems like if you're gonna try to build a universe, you don't start flip flopping characters between TV and movie.
Well, it's not him. Grant Gustin is his name. So who is Ezra Miller is a better question.
See, now I think they're making a mistake there. Because if you're gonna do this, do it right and just be consistent. Like Supergirl. That show seems to be doing fairly decent. They should make sure that they keep the character they're going to use, and if they're going to tie her in anything, tie her in legit.
Yeah, but it doesn't even look like.
It's like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, they're in some ways tying that into the movies.
Well,
but
no,
not-
you can watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and see like what's going to happen in the upcoming Marvel movie. If there's a Marvel release, they tie into it, which is perfect. That's what you're supposed to do. But again, you're looking at a universe that's been thought out versus, oh shit, we better jump on this money wagon. That's what
Right.
DC's doing in a way. So, but yeah, we saw him. He was in Batman versus Superman. Ezra Miller. He was the Flash in that. That was that liquid TV screen
Yeah.
where the Flash is jacking off fast enough to rip a hole in the space-time continuum.
Yeah.
See?
Nice.
You have to wonder though. Do you think masturbating for him is different? Because wouldn't he couldn't he rip his skin off during the process, but then it would just heal again?
Well, I mean, he's obviously kind of immune to that high friction, isn't he?
Friction.
Well, I mean, that's what it comes down to. If he can withstand the friction, he'll be fine. But otherwise, if he'll turn his dick into a small ember,
That
Yeah,
a small ember and a small member.
I
light his own fuse.
see what you did there.
I mean, would his spit then have like a higher concentration of lubricant? Because I mean, you would need something. You would need like high friction grease, man. But that would just get way too messy.
He's got like white lithium grease going on.
So basically, he borrows it from Superman.
Oh, he used another whole can of Crisco.
Yep.
I mean, because you would traditional lubricants, you just burn it up because it's just your coefficient of friction is just going to be way too high.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that sucks. So I was hoping they would actually use the TV series actors, but they're not, and
Yeah,
that sucks.
I don't know. I don't agree with that. I think they need to. I don't know. If you got this intellectual property you want to do something with, be consistent with it.
Right. They didn't have a different. What's his face? Nick Cage, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He wasn't, or Nick Fury. He wasn't. Sorry, he wasn't. It wasn't a different actor that played him on Shield. It was Samuel L. Jackson. So
Right.
why didn't? Yeah, I don't know. Again, like I said, I'm disappointed. I just every time I think about DC, I lose my erection instantly.
Yeah. And it's weird because DC's always been like kind of more ahead of Marvel in a way in the comics realm.
Yeah,
But I mean, Marvel's got it sewed up on the screen.
yeah.
I agree with you guys, man. I don't like being introduced to a new daddy every week.
Yeah, exactly. That's a
mean-
good analogy. Yeah.
I mean, who's gonna pay for all these kids?
Nope.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh shit! That's just too good. Like, why the hell? Why come nobody can't pay for my kids?
Why come?
It's like, oh, geez.
And you have to spell that
Oh.
as a WHACOM. Like there's no. It's like Wacom. It sounds like a city in Idaho. You gotta say it like that too.
Wacom-Idaho.
Wacom. I can't get no help. Yeah. So let's do this little bit of weird news here.
Roll it.
Yeah. So did you hear about Google's patent in 2014 about how they want to inject a computer into your eye?
No.
Yeah, so Google has this patent, and what they want to do is inject a computer into your eye. Now, this is where it gets fucked up. I don't know how.
Wait, this is where it gets fucked up?
Yeah, it's fucked up enough they want to put a computer in your eye, but of course, it opens up questions like, why do I need a computer in my eye? And if I get a computer virus, does that spread as an STD inside my body? So, what you really want to look at is the weird part. It injects as a liquid,
Uh-huh.
and then it solidifies. Not only does it become solid, but it's a gadget that has an electronic lens that can be controlled by the eye with overall optical power. Okay? So it's powered by, it's controlled by you blinking. So you see whatever is on the screen in your retina. And it has an energy harvesting antenna, and it's
I mean,
injected
this is some crazy sounding shit. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, I understand they wanted the patent on something like this ahead of time, but I mean, why would you where did you even come up with this stuff to even create a patent in the first place?
This goes to like the world in almost every media outlet in some form or another has pointed to this type of body modification. Like it's starting to get into, because if you think about it, how do you have to use some kind of nanotechnology in order for this to solidify. Not only that, it has this antenna. Not only that, it mentions a bunch of fun signals, as this article kind of words it, that can be sent from the device, and they're mocking this obviously, but
Right.
there's like a GPS signal, LTE signal, NFC, the shit that they use for card readers.
Right.
You know, like
Right. So, yeah, I mentioned to an Android Pay with that. You
just
"Hey, let
blink
me
or
slap
something.
my eye on your desk.
Yeah. Yeah, and can you imagine what identity theft is like at this point? You're going to have a fucking bunch of blind people running around. But it's
Is this meant for blind people?
well, it's supposed to help. It could help with people with vision problems. You know, which then, like, can you imagine, like, surfing Google Maps, like, with your eye? Like, you would see the map and you can keep driving. Nothing.
Yeah.
Everything would be hands-free. I mean, there's a lot of advantages to this for miniature apps, you know, like, or essential apps like Google Maps or looking up directions or things like that, where you're not entirely distracted, but at the same time, like, you have to get used to blinking to control your computer inside your body. But I mean, everything, like I mentioned before, media outlets have been pinpointing this type of body modification forever. You have people already doing certain types of body mods, but nothing that incorporates electronics, unless you've lost a limb or a finger. I've seen people with prosthetics turn them into USB drives, which is awesome. But at the same time, nothing's been talked about this far that I know of. I mean, this is the first I'm actually hearing something this, but it's still creepy. Like, they have a diagram of how, like, I don't know if you have to be awake when they do this, but it's like they, like, inject it into your eye, and I don't know. It'd be cool to surf porn.
I think that's where it all will be heading. I mean, everybody, yeah, it's just going to give more access to people, like, beating off in places where they shouldn't be beating off. Like, you know, it's like, I mean, you already have
Wait,
like
there's places I shouldn't do that? Because I think I've pretty much covered the map.
you got 3 minutes to spare in Lowe's bathroom. Hey man, you're knocking one out. Just keep it relaxed, dude.
Hey, if you know what the easy triggers are, it don't take that long.
This is true.
You're not gripping it right.
Then especially like if you're single with no kids, you could be like, look at my kid.
I'm telling you,
Look
man.
at
Like you would just, golly, just golfing lessons. You gotta grip up. You gotta choke up on the shaft. It's like, all right, I'll be back.
I already did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be back in 2 minutes.
What's your batting average? Huh. If only you knew in a day.
Why does Will always got to go to the bathroom? I don't know. Anytime he starts thinking about anything cylindrical, he's got to go.
Yeah. Or if you had this computer, you would just be like, why is Will blinking so much? Shh. You're disturbing me.
Oh my God, he's having a seizure. No. Just give him 5. He'll
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think your wife would probably catch on, man. She'd be like, 15 blinks? Oh, you got to get off that website.
I'm reading
I know
a
what you're
book.
doing.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
It's an ebook. I don't know what you're talking about.
There are a lot of short stories. I got to keep blinking.
Literally, short stories.
I'm reading it for the articles.
Yeah. And that argument will carry on forever if they get this. I don't know. It seems kind of cool. I would want to do it. I'd want to see what it would be all about, like what advantages I could have. You know, can I?
Well, I think maybe not it was in our lifetime, but maybe my kid's lifetime, the artificial eye will be a thing.
Oh yeah, it's how they
And,
identify you.
I mean, it'll be great because no glasses, no contacts, night vision. You can see that goddamn deer that's about to nail your Buick.
Yeah, but that would be like super creepy because people would want to take it to the next level. They want to go further with it. Have you seen the trailer for Black Ops 3?
No.
Well, it's like a launch trailer, and it's like they go through the years of progression of human modification and the advancement of that. Like one guy's like, he wins a marathon because he's got 2 prosthetic legs. We've seen that. People
Oh
have done
yeah.
that, right?
I do know what you're talking about now.
So
yeah.
it gets it's fun. The one that got me was like the basketball player, and he was like, instead of advertising for Gatorade, he was advertising for this surgical company where you could get these modifications, and he's like taking it to the next level, and they're showing the schematics of his eyes and like some parts of his body with muscles, and I'm like, damn, like, and he's like dunking from like across the gym. I was like, that's crazy. But if you think about it, if this works, who's to say that kind of stuff isn't next? You know,
Yeah.
we're already trying to enlarge our
I think-
dicks.
I think, yeah, first it'll come for the people that need it, right? You know, the people that can't hear, that can't see, you know, can't hold something, whatever. But yeah, at some point it'll be almost a cosmetic thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and this is
I'll finally get that big wiener.
that's that's what I'm saying, man. They got all this technology to where they can make like prosthetic, all that bullshit, but they can't make a dick bigger.
They need to prioritize.
If you like what you've heard, give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, thumbs up on YouTube. Live Prius or die. And again, thanks for listening.